call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
A friend had called and said there'd been a bad accident on M25. Mike had GPS'd her phone, and that's exactly where she was located, is where the accident was.
As I was traveling up Lakeshore is when I heard the accident go out on my radio. It was a couple miles ahead of me. You know, obviously the roads were pretty bad, so we knew there was definitely a possibility for it being a bad accident.
He ran up to the cars, told me not to go any further. I didn't want to go any closer. I shouldn't go up and see the car. So at that point, I thought she was gone.
Working in my job, actually, I have seen quite a few people go, but when it's your own, it's you know, and it's just a big deal, you know, just because you just never got to say goodbye.
Due to the extent of her injuries, we took her to the closest hospital. At that time, they started, you know, doing X-rays and CAT scans and such, and trying to find out what exactly was going on with her, determine that her injuries were too extensive for what they could do here. And at that point, it was time to get her to the trauma hospital.
McLaren Macomb, this will be Tri-Hospital Alpha 1, Priority 1 transfer.
McLaren, go ahead.
This will be Tri-Hospital Alpha 1 en route to facility with a 22-year-old female involved in an MVC earlier today. Patient is being transferred. According to staff at the hospital, patient was involved in a two-car head-on MVC, major injury, major damage also to the vehicle. Patient was restrained, did have airbag deployment, was conscious and alert.
Nothing further. Tri-Hospital, update us with any changes. McLaren will be clear.
Still recall that night. She was a transfer from a hospital up north, and she came in with severe injuries. She had a significant bruise to her brain. She had significant facial fractures. One of the blood vessels going to her brain on the right was damaged. She had severe bruising on her lungs. Her right forearm was broke. She had a fracture also of her left thigh bone. There was a fracture of her right kneecap. And the most devastating injury was a very, very complex pelvic fracture.
Honestly, I was somewhat pessimistic about her outcome. And it's a real tribute to the trauma team that managed to stabilize her and get her to the position she's in right now. I was being cautiously optimistic when I discussed the surgery with her family, and to see the young lady almost completely regain function, as well as, you know, from a mental standpoint, be exactly where she was is amazing. So I have to not taking much credit for that. I think I have to give that to the trauma team.
I don't think Jessica would be here right now.
No.
Without the care that she received, and the doctors that she had, and all the prayer that she had.
I'm doing much better now. Every day it gets better and better. Yeah.
You know who was lucky that night? I was. Because being the trauma surgeon on call, I had access to an expert ED physician. I had access to a really, really highly intelligent and very, very proficient trauma orthopedic surgeon called Dr. Balazzi. I had access to a neurosurgeon. I had access to an oral maxillofacial surgeon, Dr. Yappa. When I had access like that, we knew we could treat her.